Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. Cleopatra, early life and ascension to throne. No contemporary accounts of Cleopatra's life exist, so her biography is uncertain. Greco-Roman scholars, especially Plutarch, wrote much about her life. Cleopatra was born in 70 or 69 BC to Ptolemy XII. Auletes, a descendant of Alexander the Great's general and founder of the Ptolemaic line in Egypt. Her mother was king's wife Cleopatra v. Tryphena, and possibly his half-sister. After Auletes' death in 51 BC, Cleopatra, 18, and Ptolemy 13, inherited the Egyptian throne. Cleopatra's 16-year-old son Caesarion ruled Egypt between her death and Octavian's annexation. After his mother's suicide, he was captured and executed. Soon after the siblings' ascension, Ptolemy's advisors forced Cleopatra to flee Egypt for Syria in 49 BC. She raised a mercenary army and returned the next year to fight her brother's forces at Pelusium on Egypt's eastern border. Ptolemy XIII welcomed Julius Caesar to Alexandria after Pompey's murder. Cleopatra reportedly snuck into Caesar's palace to seek his support. Caesar and Cleopatra. Caesar needed Egypt to repay Auletes' debts and fund his return to Rome. Caesar's outnumbered forces and Ptolemy XIII's forces fought for 4 months before Roman reinforcements arrived. Ptolemy fled Alexandria and is believed to have drowned in the Nile. Caesar, an unpopular conqueror, restored Cleopatra and Ptolemy XIV to the throne in Alexandria. Around 47 BC, Cleopatra's Caesar gave birth to Ptolemy Caesar. The Egyptians called him Caesarion, or Little Caesar, believing he was Caesar's son. Cleopatra, Ptolemy XIV, and Caesarion visited Caesar in Rome in 46 to 45 BC. After Caesar's murder in 44 BC, Cleopatra returned to Egypt. Ptolemy XIV was killed, possibly by Cleopatra's agents, and Caesarion, III, was named co-regent with his mother as Ptolemy XV. Cleopatra strongly identified with Isis, Osiris' sister-wife, and Horus' mother. The ancient Egyptians associated royalty with divinity to elevate kings and queens. Plutarch said she spoke a dozen languages and had irresistible charm. Cleopatra's seduction of Mark Antony. Cleopatra's power in Egypt was secure with her infant son as co-regent. Unreliable Nile flooding caused crop failure, inflation, and hunger. In Rome, Mark Antony, Octavian, and Lepidus fought Brutus and Cassius, Caesar's assassins. Cleopatra sent 4 Roman legions stationed in Egypt by Caesar to support the triumvirate after some stalling. Mark Antony and Octavian divided Rome after defeating Brutus and Cassius in 42 BC. Mark Antony called Cleopatra to Tarsus, south of modern Turkey, to explain her role in Caesar's assassination. According to Plutarch, and later William Shakespeare, Cleopatra sailed to Tarsus dressed as Isis. Antony, who identified with Dionysus, was smitten. He agreed to protect Egypt and Cleopatra's crown, promising to remove her exiled sister Arsinoe. Cleopatra and Antony left Rome, leaving Fulvia and their children behind. In 41 to 40 BC, he and Cleopatra formed the inimitable Livers Drinking Society. Cleopatra gave birth to twins Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene in 40 BC, after Antony's return to Rome.